Hello everyone, it's Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon, and today it's round 4 of the Pokebeach tournament. We've been doing pretty well so far with Straight Toad, there's the list, and today we're up against Yangai, also known as Royal on the Pokebeach forums, so we will head on over to our deck and get this thing started. No idea what we're playing. I think he's a viewer though, I think he knows that we record and stuff, so he might know our deck, so that could be a disadvantage going into the game. But this should be interesting. We see Psychic, Lightning and Colourless, so this could easily be Night March. Night March is a matchup that we do sort of enjoy, so could be good if it is Night March. We win the coin flip as well, so that's also good. And we'll choose to go first. We lead Seismitoad, which is very good, but we have very few draw cards in our hand, just the Trainer's Mail so far, to potentially get us into something like Ultra Ball for Shaman. And we are up against Night March, so this is a favourable matchup, I would say. Okay, we take Scoop up here. Already a difficult decision. If I'm Trainer's Mailing into like Sycamore, I don't want to take this, but I definitely want to take something just to improve our odds, so I think I might take AZ here instead. Okay. I was thinking of Super Scoop Up in case we get Ultra Ball for Shaman, and that's kind of better, but look, we do hit Sycamore, so this hand is going to have to be dumped. Not too worried about it, to be honest. We don't need too many disruption cards against Night March, so we just need to punch our way to victory, basically. And we do hit DCE. We also have a supporter and an Ultra Ball, so all looking pretty good here. This is going to be an Ultra Ball for a Shaman, almost certainly. Looking for Fighting Fury Belt is all I really want to develop this turn. Only one Shaman, so we've prized one Shaman and we've prized Absol. These are two pretty annoying things. We've also prized one Seismitoad EX, so a lot of Pokemon in the prizes. So this Super Scoop Up might be a bit more relevant. We just hit Water Energy, which I'm happy to attach, I think. Actually, let's see the outcome of this flip. We do get a Tails, so this still gets attached. The Misty can discard Xerosic next turn, and we can DCE. Although this is fairly not useful. I might need to keep this around to retreat a Shaman EX. I think we can just pass. The Water Energy is not very important because we already have DC in hand, and this could be discarded with Misty, and we get to keep Xerosic around, which could be handy for us, so we'll hold it for now. I'm very hungover this morning, so you might hear it in my voice. So I'm probably already making errors. But hey, it's only a tournament. I don't think I've made too many mistakes so far. Most of these videos I am making a lot of gameplay errors though, which makes me look like a bad player. And it's probably because I am, but also I'm not focusing. I don't know, it feels like you can't really focus as well on PTCGO as you can in real life. Just something about the physical cards being around. So we saw an Ultra Ball, got rid of a puzzle piece, which is pretty good for us. We see a Trainer's Mail. He's actually playing a Garbodor line in his Night March, which is very uncommon. It's not really going to affect our game too much. It might affect our Absol if we pull it from the prizes later on, but overall it shouldn't affect us too much. I think I've actually played Yangi before on stream, because I remember this Night March deck with Garbodor, because I remember putting down a Shaman to draw cards when he had Garbodor developed. So we see the first Battle Compressor. Our opponent's developed quite a lot here. Interesting that he's playing Muscle Band instead of Fury Belt, or maybe a combination. He does find the D Valley, so he's doing currently 5 Marchers and Muscle Band, and he hits a Hex. So no knockout, but he does start pressuring us really nicely. So here it's just going to be DC, Xerosic, and attack. Pretty slow from us. Didn't develop a Toad for next turn, which is kind of worrying. But we have loads of Super Scoop Ups and stuff. So, see how he plays around this. Didn't have the highest hand. And see, just a pass. So that was kind of a risky play, but it did pay off for us. So this turn it's going to be definitely the Misty. Misty looking for a Toad or an Ultra Ball. I think getting rid of the energy here is fine. But also getting rid of the VS Seeker is not horrible because it just gives us an easy Sycamore from the following turns. So we straight away do find Seismitoad, so I just make sure that I take this card. Could take the Rough Seas instead, but I think I'm happy with Toad. It's just way safer, because if he just hits a Sycamore, he can get DC and the Stadium all at once, so it's just better to have the Toad. I think I am going to commit this energy. Yeah, I'm pretty happy to. Because we have the other one in hand to retreat the Shaman around or whatever else, we can just punch. Taking the first prize. Our opponent seems to have a fairly dead hand. We take a Shaman, which at the moment is still useful. So pretty good stuff here. There is a Joltik and a pass. More good signs for us. I think here we're going to Shaman before anything else. Looking for Fury Belt and the Stadium. The Stadium's the biggest thing here, the Rough Seas, which we do hit. And I don't think we really need much else this turn. We don't have Lysander just yet. So I think I just want to hold everything and punch. We're on 90 HP left. He can hit 6, 120. So the Fury Belt is influential if we get it. But he has to, or she has to have DCE, Stadium, and it's a lot of things. I'm not going to dig. Seems though they've just been basically draw passing. There is the Stadium. And just a pass. So I can see why they wanted to change the Stadium, because giving me the continuous heal is really bad. But now it's a second Stadium in their discard pile, which is gone. And with the Garbodor spaces made in their deck, they might only play 2. With this extra VS Seeker pickup, it might be that I'm Mistying here just to find the Fury Belt to be a bit safer, because then we are easily pushed out of range. So we're going to go for that. I think getting rid of the Water Energy is fine. I could also just AZ for a couple of cards and keep these resources, but I don't think the Water Energy is that influential now that we have the other DC in hand. So and we do hit Fighting Fury Belt. Our opponent seems to be doing some shout-outs. I didn't quite catch it. We'll read it out when it goes to his turn. We're taking another prize here. We get the Fury Belt to be a lot more healthy, and it looks like we've done pretty well in this match, this first game. Shout-outs to Ethan for feeding his frog, spiders, and pumpkins. Don't know what that means. I'm sure it means something to someone. So there you go. We just see a pass again. Rough Seas is fine. Quaking Punch is fine. Not too worried about trying to dig for like Headringer this turn, because we have the Rough Seas to heal off any Sky Return damage. It's not like it's affecting too much. So our opponent finally gets a Shaman EX down. And just a pass again. So now this turn it might be worth digging for a Fighting Fury Belt. Not a Fighting Fury Belt, a Headringer. This is, how many VS Seekers have we gone through? This will be our last VS Seeker. Ugh, that's kind of awkward. Don't think it's worth. Although it could secure 2 more prizes. Where does he go if he goes for Sky Return? Just into the other Shaman? Still feels bad. I don't think we need to dig. The 4th VS Seeker I think is important still. So even with DC for Sky Return, I'm not too worried. If that's their turn, it's not really a problem for us. Okay, so he wants to go second in game 2. That's absolutely fine by me. And, whoops. So Night March is a good matchup for Toad, and we just saw how we can really dominate, especially with not the fastest start from the opponent. Night March really does need to seriously explode to beat Seismitoad EX. So we do win the flip, so he wants to go second, so we will be going first. Kind of risky, because it means that we could use something like a Judge or a Hex Maniac turn 1, and I'm going to try and do that, I think. Our opponent leads Joltik as well, so a painful Judge here could win us the game very quickly. I'm taking Ultra Ball because I want to, if I'm using Judge, I want to develop the energy this turn. I'm always going for Shaman regardless here. So I'm getting rid of these two for sure. Absol is in the deck. We have both of our Shaman. One Toad is prized, that's fine. We get the Shaman out before we use the Trainer's Mail for higher odds. We get Fury Belt, which is really good for us. And we're going to try and Shaman digging for energy. We hit just a water. The Judge is pretty YOLO. AZ is pretty slow. I think this is so powerful if they just don't draw well out of this. Like, Night March has so many good cards, but especially with the Garbodor line, there's a lot of dead cards. So we'll go for the Judge. We get really well out of that Judge. We get a supporter and the energy for next turn, so pretty chuffed with that Judge. We will pass it over and see how our opponent got around the Judge. There's another Joltik, so they don't lose. Fighting Fury Belt means, oh wow. Okay, a responsive Judge. Surprised they didn't Fury Belt the active there. There's a Trainer's Mail. Puzzle of Time isn't too helpful. Might sort out their top decks though. We see a Shaman EX. So our opponent has got around the Judge quite nicely. Let's see if they can get any... Ooh, double puzzle it looks like. For Trainer's Mail and Judge, not the strongest double puzzle. They want to get use out of it while they can though, so... Digging for stuff like Compressor is really essential. Even Ultra Ball's good for more Shaman, for more cards. Just the D Valley, very, very weak turn. See a Floatstone onto Shaman. That's fine, that's pretty good for him. And is it going to be just a pass here? Wow, just a pass. We are looking in pretty good shape here. Yep, he was right. That's a pretty strong Judge. We'll go for the Super Scoop Up. Do get a Tails, so it's all down to Trainer's Mail, see what we can get. We do hit Misty, which is pretty strong. I do think the Rough Seas is more important than Headringer here, so we'll get rid of Headringer. I really just want a draw card, and we do hit Shaman EX, so that's very good. Still don't think I'm playing down Rough Seas. Like, I want to dig for cards, but I don't need that many. It's not so important to play Rough Seas down, even though our opponent has no Pump Kaboo just yet. We do play 3 though. I'd hate to just dead draw and lose this game. I think that's the only way we lose now, dead draws, so let's just play as safe as possible. We just want to find another Seismitoad more than anything. We do hit Ultra Balls, but with this much HP, we definitely don't need to worry about any of those shenanigans just yet. So we'll just punch, I think, here. So that's the first Night Marcher in the discard pile. Oh, and there's a toad off the prizes. Happy days. So we seem pretty good here. There is the D-Valley to bounce our stadium, and a Sycamore. Getting rid of a couple more Night Marchers, so there's some damage starting to add up here. Just a pass. So I'd like to hit something like Xerosic off of this Trainer's Mail. I think I'd take Sycamore here. Not that we need to use it this turn. I think I'm happy just punching. How many VS Seeker have we used? 0. Could be a Lysander play, just to put more pressure on this Joltik. Obviously, this gives him more turns, just a Sky Return all round. So I guess we will go for that. Debatable for another judge, but I don't think we really need to. We want to save judges for when he's like Shaman looping, just to get rid of his DCs and such. So happy to punch here. Doing the 2-shot on the Joltik. That's something you don't often see. Joltik not dying. So our opponent seems to play a split of Fury Belt and Muscle Band. But with such a slow start, I really don't see our opponent doing too well, unless he's able to break the lock for a few turns. We see an Absol. Doesn't change much. We can just punch here. Quite comfortable. There goes another Night Marcher. So there's a sneaky way of getting damage, just losing prizes, but still very low in terms of overall output of these Night March Pokemon. There's a very painful Sycamore. Let's see how many marches he got in there. 3, 4, 5, 6. So 120 is now a decent Night March. Got rid of the full Garb line. And just a pass. Again, we're trying to look to find Xerosic, but it's not too important just yet. It'll be more important next turn, and I think, you know, there's no point for us Sycamoring here. We're so dominant in terms of board state. DCE to Joltik. Lysander on Shaman, so he's going to start racing at least. There's a Shaman EX setting up. You can do a pretty cheeky Absol play here. So I'm going to start Super Scoop upping this Shaman EX because we don't want to give him any more turns of like Lysander. Absol kills this Joltik and then we're still punching this. So I don't think it's actually worth the Absol here. It's just going to be Fury Belt. And we do just hit Quaking Punch. I mean, we had Cassius if we wanted to anyway, but I'd rather keep Cassius for like a guaranteed move of Toad. Hit VS Seeker again, that's pretty okay. Again, we see a pass, so no Xerosic just yet at all. This does kind of play into Sky Return bouncing. But we're not too bothered about it. Let's crack on and punch. Still no energy, which is kind of weird. Our opponent just retreats the Shaman. So not even any DC in their hand, it looks like. Or they don't want to use Sky Return because they have no other bench Pokemon and we can throw in Grenade Hammer. So it looks like our opponent's conceding here. Oh, kind words from Yang there. So yeah, just a slow. So game 1, not quite the explosive turn he needed, and game 2, a pretty painful judge just meant that the opponent really didn't get much going at all. And Quaking Punch continually against Night March when they can't use their Battle Compressor, VS Seeker, Puzzle. They're a lot weaker of a deck. So we do face a good matchup for us as the Toad player. So we go on still undefeated in round 4. Happy days. Hope you'll enjoy this video, guys. And yeah, stay tuned for all the Fates Collide stuff. I'm doing about 10 videos today. So there's going to be Fates Collide decks for, you know, daily for at least a week or so. So look forward to those things. Leave your comments down below. And it's been Joe from OmniPoke, and I'll see you guys next time.